Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Leanna and today I have a few things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about ratings a little bit because I just got a bad one and it's kind of funny, so I wanted to share that with you. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Poshmark features that they brought out for Posh Fest because I have a little more information. And we're going to start with the listing challenge that I issued myself last week. I'm going to let you know how it went, what I learned, where I'm going next week, all that kind of stuff. So, my listing challenge. I challenged myself to list 100 new items last week. Now, 100 items is a lot for me. That is a lot. But I really wanted to kickstart my listing because I had not been paying attention to it for the last couple of weeks because I was relisting. I relisted both closets entirely, well, 98%, and I concentrated on that for 2 weeks and didn't really list anything new. So I really wanted to kickstart listing. So I was overly ambitious and said 100. That's fantastic. But breaking it down, 100 listings in 7 days is about 15 listings a day, which is actually quite doable. I didn't do it, but it is doable. And when you take a big goal like that and you break it down into smaller parts, it's much more achievable. So I started off great. I did, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I was at the office, I was getting things together, I was organized. And then Friday came along and I totally forgot. I forgot that I was going to London to the cross-border shipper on Friday, that I wanted to film a video, that it was Posh Fest weekend and I needed to watch some stuff in order to do that video. So life got in the way and I did totally forget. So Friday kind of put a wrench into my focus is what happened. And that sort of wrench kind of lasted for the last few days of my challenge. So in total, I ended up with 63 items. I was on track Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was fabulous. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I only listed about 5 items. Now, at least I listed. And that consistency, I think, really paid off. So I listed 63 new items onto both Posh Canada and Posh US. I actually cross-listed 3 more to eBay, but I'm not counting that right now. So I'm really happy with 63. That was okay. It wasn't perfect and it wasn't anyway really near where I wanted to be. But I'm not going to beat myself up. I learned a few things. Number one is to be a little more organized and realistic with what I want to achieve. And actually sitting down and saying, okay, this day you have this to do, this day you have this to do, and not being sort of caught off guard again. And I don't know what happened. I was like really, really focused on, okay, I'm going to the office, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And I was really good. And it just kind of fell apart for a while. And that's all right. What else did I learn? I learned that the 100 was probably overly ambitious for me, so I'm going to bring that down. And this next week, I'm shooting for more 70. I think 70 is pretty good. I'll be still happy with 63 again. And again, I'm going to break it down into day by day. Like, for instance, today is Tuesday. It's the beginning of my listing sort of challenge. And it is it's 9:45 in the morning right now. I am filming right now because I wanted to get it done. And this afternoon, I'm going to go over to the office, and I do have some things I want to rephoto because they were a little blurry, so I can list them. And I have some items already prepped and ready to be photographed. I'm going to get those done, and then I'm going to prep because I know that having items already prepped, ready to go, helps me get into that groove of, okay, I'm going to take photographs, I'm going to prep, I'm going to take photographs, I'm going to prep. That really helps me. Also, what I did this past week to help my organization is I have 2 bins at the office full of things that need to be listed. I went through those bins and organized them, and I'm prioritizing what the next batch will be. So for instance, I have new tag items that I want to get listed now for 4th quarter, for Christmas gifts, things like that. So new tags, fall and winter items are being listed first. Spring and summer items, shorts, cute little dresses, things like that, they will be listed last. And right now I have about 75 items left at the office, which is fantastic. So I'm hoping to get through them this week with the priority being new tags. So today I am going to go over, do some photographs, and then prep about 20 or 30 items so that I can go back tomorrow. So I'm doing that. I'm really excited about that. I have not thrifted. I have not sourced in almost 2 weeks because I did go to the bins. It would be 2 weeks this Thursday. I did go to the bins and get a few things. Those things are listed, by the way, I think, for the most part. Anyway, I haven't really been sourcing, which is really good. It's helping me feel more in control of what I'm buying or what I'm listing, and I like that. Being in control and being organized is key. Another thing I do want to mention is I listed 63 items. I sold 22. Now, it wasn't all the brand new listings. Some of them were. Some of them didn't even last, a day, which is fantastic. So my sell-through rate, if you take the amount I listed to the amount I sold, was about 35%. Not fantastic. I do want that higher, but I'm happy with that. I was excited for that. So speaking of those listings that didn't last very long, that's what you really want to focus on. I want to focus on those items that are going to sell. So with this kind of challenge, I think it's great to get organized and to have a goal. But it's really more important to list the right things. You can list 1,000 items, and if nobody wants to buy them, it's not going to mean anything. So checking brands, doing the research, finding out what is selling, doing sell-through rates for items you're sourcing before you source them to help you see if they're popular, if they're in demand. You want your items to sell. That is key. Any other goal is sort of a sideline. Buying the items that are going to sell, that is absolutely the number one key in any kind of listing challenge. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on. Okay, moving on. Posh Features that came out. A couple things I want to talk about. People are upset or sort of disappointed that they're not bringing out international shipping. Again, I will tell you this was my feeling a few months ago. That's not going to happen anytime soon. It's just not. One of the things people love Poshmark for is the ease of shipping. Print the label. Maybe you have to weigh it, but that's about it. It's very, very simple to ship on Poshmark. And if they bring in international shipping, all that will probably go away because it's the logistics of shipping from the US to Canada using whatever for a certain amount. That is a lot to work on. So I can't see them bringing it out anytime soon because I have a feeling that if they do, then the ease of shipping will go away. And people that use Poshmark like the fact that shipping is very simple to deal with. So don't look for it soon. Maybe one day it will happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. Maybe one day it will happen. Number 2, the AI that they're talking about bringing out. It is you take a few pictures and it'll fill out sort of item specific. So brand, size, color, that type of thing. It's not going to fill out the title or the description. It's not going to generate a description. As far as I understood this, it was only to populate those sort of item specific type things. It's going to auto-populate the brand, the size, the color. It's not going to fill out your title or your description. So you're still going to have to do that. Now, in and of itself, it's not a bad feature. Like I said, it will save time if it works properly. However, it's still one of those features that it's like, you're not really saving me a lot of time. It's very super easy for me to fill out the brand, the size, all that kind of stuff. So, but it's not about the description. So don't be misled if you hear, oh, they're going to get, it's all AI and you just have to put in some pictures and everything's done for you. That's not, as far as I understand it, that's not what's happening. All right, finally, the last thing about Poshmark and the features is they started the hackathon talking about the survey. And if you've been around Poshmark any time, you know that they send out surveys to talk about what features you want, things like that. I have always filled it out, and I usually say the same thing because I want a way to run a sale like they have it on eBay, because I think it would make my life much easier and present my closet in a more professional way when I want to run a sale. And that way, I don't have to use my shoppers to bother people. So I do fill it out. But they started the hackathon with saying that only 5,000 people filled out the survey. Now, they did seem very happy about that, but to me, I was like, wait a minute here. There are millions upon millions of Poshmark users out there in the world, and only 5,000 people filled out the survey, and yet everybody's complaining about, oh, I didn't get this feature. What about this feature? If you want to complain, you need to have a voice. Have a voice, fill out the survey. That 5,000 filling it out is a ridiculously low number. And the people that are loudest are the ones that are going to get heard and the ones that are going to get what they want. So keep that in mind the next time the survey comes out. Fill it out, give them your 2 cents, and hopefully that will get the louder voices on the features that will benefit the more people. All right. Okay. Last, ratings. So on eBay, ratings matter. Your feedback matters. It absolutely does. On Poshmark, not so much. It really doesn't. And right now, I have maintained a 5-star rating on both Posh Canada and Posh US. So I'm happy with that. I do like getting 5-star ratings and comments. I think it's great. If I get less than 5 stars, if it's a teachable thing, absolutely do it. Tell me I did something wrong. Tell me something that will help me improve. I don't mind that at all. If you get a less than 5-star, nobody else sees that comment but you. And if it doesn't affect your overall rating, for the most part, I just sort of go, whatever. So this past week, yesterday actually, I got a 2-star rating on a pair of jeans, which was like, okay. And I read the comment, and apparently, and I'm only saying apparently because, apparently they found a whole bunch of Goodwill tags in the pocket. So that's number one that they said. And I was like, okay, I don't specifically remember checking the pockets on those pair of jeans. They're an older listing. But I washed them, and if there was a whole bunch of Goodwill tags in there, I would notice a big pile of wet tags in my wash. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's that small chance there was a tag in there. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I'm like, okay, I can understand being upset about that. Absolutely. Then she went on to say that there was a whole bunch of Goodwill tags in the pocket, which means the seller purchased this at a thrift store and then charged me $75 for these. She got them cheap at the thrift store and then charged me $75. I hold thrift stores in disdain, something to that extent. And I was like, my first reaction was to laugh. I'm sorry, I laughed. Why? Because number one, you're buying secondhand on Poshmark, who pushes secondhand Sundays, secondhand this, the planet, the environment. And you're holding it in disdain because I charged you what those pants were worth. I did not charge you what I paid so I could earn a little bit, because this is business. This is commerce. This is me making a living. I went out and I found those pants. You wanted those pants and you lived across the country. You got those pants at a really good deal, by the way, because my list price, she got them for half of my list price because they were an older listing. Everything else, I was like, yep, I want to see them gone. I'm going to make good profit on them. Great, go. As a buyer, if you do not want thrift store items, which, you know what, that's up to you. That is absolutely your thing. That's fine. I have no problems with that. But if you do not want to buy from a thrift store and you're buying on Poshmark, then ask the question, where did you source this? And maybe you do ask this question and you get, blocked or whatever. But if you really don't want to buy from thrift stores, then that's a question. That's your responsibility to make sure you're not doing it. It's not my responsibility to tell you where I get things from without the question being asked. For the most part, if you go through my closet, you can probably tell that these are not my own personal things because my sizes range from XS to 5X. And I have men's clothes and I have baby clothes. And I don't have no babies right now. So, I don't know. To me, it was like she didn't do her homework and it was my fault. And I kind of laughed at it and went, you know what? There's nothing I can do with you. There's absolutely nothing I can do that's going to make you happy. I think she said something about she's going to resell them. So I'm kind of curious if she's going to resell them for more money, because then she's just doing what I did, but whatever. It was one of those instances where I laughed, went, I can't help you with anything. There's nothing really for me to learn except for, yeah, you know what? I'm going to check pockets just in case. So you know what? I just went, you know what? You sound like you're going to be trouble. I'm not going to respond. And I actually did block her because I just didn't want her having the ability to comment on any of my other listings, just in case, you know? So that rating did not change my overall rating. So except for sharing it with you and laughing about it with Paul, I'm over it. I'm good. Because you know what? That 2-star was one, and then I got a few more 5 stars over the day. So I'm like, whatever. Anyway, do you chase after ratings? Because I don't. I don't chase. If somebody says 3-star because it didn't fit, then that's it. And I don't worry about it. Let me know down below in the comments if you do that, or if you learn from bad reviews. Let me know what your feelings about this are. Okay, anyway, that is it for today. I am going to get everything ready to go and upload up here, and then I'm going to head to the office and get some prep work done and some photos done. My voice almost made it to the end of the video. Okay, anyway, that is it for today. One last thing, really quick. Yesterday at the post office, I met a viewer. Hi, Colleen. It's nice to see you. Comment down below, and I'll give you the email address, and you can ask your questions or whatever. Anyway, that is it. Everybody have a great week, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.